Let's begin by closing our eyes down and following our breath in and out of our body. Having a sense like as we exhale, we're landing a little more deeply into our physical body. We might feel the weight of our sit bones pressing into the ground or into the chair that we're sitting on a little bit more. Let's notice our breath. As we inhale, allow your abdominal muscles to relax a little bit so that your belly kind of inflates, relaxes forward a little bit. It's not a big movement, just a subtle movement. And as you exhale, you can pull your navel in a little bit, contracting the abdominal muscles slightly. As you inhale, relaxing your abdomen, inhale to the point that you begin to feel your ribs spread apart as well, filling up the lungs right up to the top with air. And as you exhale, you can feel those ribs coming back together and then your navel pulling in. Let's just breathe like that for a moment. Inhaling, feeling myself expand, be filled. And then exhaling, feeling the contraction, feeling how the air is leaving my body. And I slip a little deeper down into my sensing on that exhalation. It's like I'm landing a little bit more in my body. Let's begin to lengthen our exhalation. So we can inhale for a shorter period than we exhale, making that exhalation a little bit longer. And this will begin to stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system. This is our rest and our digest and our reflect nervous system. Creates a little more space, internal space within us. Let's begin to feel and sense our physical body, bringing our awareness down to the soles of our feet. Let's feel through the whole bottom of our foot, top of our foot, everything in between. Maybe having the intention to feel the bones, your skeleton, or the muscles that run alongside the bones and move the joints, move the bones of our body. And maybe you're sensing into the nervous system, the nerves that run through the feet. Obviously, if you're feeling through the feet, you're actually sensing your nervous system through the feet, but we can also kind of visualize that in our mind's eye. Maybe feeling the circulation through the feet, the blood flow, the lymph flow through your feet. Just allowing a bit of a higher resolution of subtle sensations to arise in your foot as you simply sense what's present for you in your feet right now. Then let's allow our awareness to rise up through the ankles into the lower leg. Again, sensing the front and the back of the leg and everything in between. The bones, the muscles, the vessels, the energy flow. You might be noticing areas of constriction, either energetic constriction or actual physical muscular constriction, fascial constriction. Or you might be noticing feelings of aliveness or energy or flow. Just noticing whatever it is. There's no right or wrong. It's just what is arising in me in this moment. And can I meet it with a gentle, compassionate yes? Yes, this is me in this moment. Yeah, that's what I'm sensing and feeling, or not sensing and feeling. Let's allow our awareness to move up through our knees into our thighs, front and back of the leg. We might bring in that image of a sponge that inhales, absorbs energy, prana, life force energy into every cell, as if it's absorbing water, like a sponge absorbs water. And then exhale, it's kind of like the sponge is being rinsed out, wringed out. And it's like a releasing, relaxing, and letting go. So we might be inhaling energy into every cell of our legs. And then exhaling, having that sense of, something relaxes a little bit more deeply. And it lets more energy flow, more release, more letting go, more creation of space. Let's bring our awareness up into our pelvis. We can feel the bones, like our pelvic bones, our hip bones. We can be aware of the organs in this area, bladder, our womb, our intestines. Just bringing our awareness into the center of our pelvis. And then being open to what we find there, sense-wise, like you might feel physically in this area. You might also notice emotion arising. Whatever we find, we say yes to. Yes, that's what I'm experiencing right now. There's no should or shouldn't, right or wrong. We're just simply allowing. And in that allowing, and that not making wrong of anything, we begin to feel usually a higher resolution of sensory information. And the sensations might become more subtle. Become aware of more information in that area than you felt before, whether it's physical information, emotional information, mental information. Moving on, let's come up through our abdomen, past our navel, up into our solar plexus as well, including the whole area between our pelvis and our rib cage, lower rib cage. Let's sense and feel through this area for a moment. Feeling the abdominal muscles, the lower back muscles, maybe some of the hip muscles at the same time, and all the organs in between. We can also feel our spine rising through this area, out through our sacrum, coming up through our back. In the center of our spine is our central nervous system, our spinal cord, leading up to the brain. We can be aware of this physical structure of our body. We can feel the muscles, we can feel the organs, we can feel the energy in our body. Allowing with compassion whatever arises within us, whatever we find. Saying yes, a gentle yes to whatever we find. Let's bring our awareness up into our chest now, into our whole heart, upper rib cage, pectoral girdle, muscles of the shoulder blades, the clavicle, the upper arm. Breathing into this area and exhaling from this area. We might feel a little bit of constriction in some area. We might feel flow in another area. We might feel a mixture of things. Just noticing however that is for you in this moment. Allowing yourself to go deeply into the sensing of your physical body. We're kind of working our way up through the body, connecting the dots as we go, connecting our different chakras, our different parts of the body. As we feel through the heart center and the upper back, let's also notice how we feel what we've already felt through the lower body. Are we still maintaining a sense of the lower body at the same time? Or have we experienced a disconnection? Again, no right or wrong, just noticing how it is. Notice if you can feel the soles of your feet up through your legs, through your pelvis, through your abdomen, and into your chest at the same time. And as you do this, let's allow our awareness to roll down through our arms now. Upper arm, bicep, tricep, upper arm bone, moving down through our forearm into our hands on both sides. And let's include this sensing down into our arms at the same time as we sense the rest of our body. We might feel how the palms of our hands rest on our thighs or on the table or wherever you are in this moment. Now let's allow our awareness to move up through our throat, up into our head, feeling the cranial bones. You might feel the spine moving down through the neck into the upper back, muscles on the front of the throat, on the back of the neck, connecting our head and our brain down into the rest of our body. Feeling the front of the face as much as the back of the head, and everything in between. Might be sensing the different hemispheres of your brain. And as we complete the scan of our physical body, let's again go back to our visualization of a sponge inhaling energy into every cell of our body, and then exhale and release. Let's hold an awareness of our physical body while we move into our heart center. And let's begin to have the intention to become aware of our emotional landscape in this moment. What's alive for me emotionally in this moment? Sometimes just feeling into the heart helps us to relate to that. We also might feel into the rest of the body as well. Emotion can arise anywhere in the body. Just setting that intention to become aware of what's arising emotionally. And then we give a bit of space where we sense and we feel and we notice what arises for a moment. Continuing to breathe, slowing our exhalation down, moving our navel with the breath, feeling and sensing deeply through our body. Emotionally, it might be quite subtle, like a bit of a glow of an emotion. Or it might be something really obvious and kind of in your face. And it can also be a mixture of a number of things, a number of emotions, kind of almost like a ball of yarn. And it's okay however it is. We're just bringing our awareness to how it is for me in this moment. Let's take a breath into our heart, like we're energizing our heart with the breath, life force energy into the heart center. And as we exhale, let's feel that energy radiate out a little bit into our physical body, into the aura energy emanating from our body. And as we sense our physical body and our emotional state, let's bring our attention up into our brain, where we might begin to be aware of our mental state. We can notice the quality of our mind in this moment. Do I have a lot of thinking going on? Maybe it feels tight, constricted, or maybe it's really fast, like a lot of thoughts. or it might feel more spacious, open. You might begin relating deeply to the space element, the space between each thought, the space between each breath that I take. Again, feeling our physical body, our emotional state, and our mental state at the same time. We're synchronizing these three to create a coherence within us. In this coherent state, digestion and integration naturally begin to occur. Higher resolution of information begins to arise into our awareness, whether that's physical information, emotional information, mental information like beliefs, ways of thinking. Just allowing whatever's present to arise. And now, as we hold this awareness, let's bring our attention back down to the soles of our feet or our lower body. If we happen to be sitting on the ground, noticing whatever part of our body is touching the ground, let's begin to notice our relationship to the earth. Noticing how our feet meet the earth in this moment. Do I feel connected? Or does it feel a little bit absent for me? Is there a little bit of numbness or nothingness when I try to connect into the earth? Again, no right or wrong, noticing how it is. When we're a little bit stressed, it can be hard to feel the earth beneath us. If this is a bit available for us, let's begin to grow some roots down into the earth. Feeling ourselves being a part of the earth as our roots flow down. There's nothing we need to make happen. If it's not happening, that's okay. Just feeling it as it is. If it is happening in your mind's eye, just allowing and following that process. It's like feeling yourself kind of sink tendrils down into the ground, into the soil. It's sometimes easy to imagine like the soil you're sitting on is kind of freshly tilled, so it's soft and easy to sink down into, just like sitting on a beach and sliding your hands or your feet down into the sand. That feeling of becoming rooted and connected. Let's begin to inhale through our roots from the earth, from the core of the earth. This earth that is the mother to all life on this planet, that nourishes and nurtures, sustains and holds every being that is on this planet, that is a part of this planet, that grows from this planet. Let's inhale this life force nourishing energy from the earth up through our roots, up into our body. Let's just let it go wherever it naturally wants to go. And then as we exhale, let's follow it back down through our body, back down into the earth. As we inhale, drawing that energy up. And exhale, we can feel like that energy is feeding us in some way, nurturing, nourishing. And we can notice how that relationship is for us. Sometimes when we feel down into the earth, what we feel is the wound that we have in our relationships. Sometimes we feel into our attachment wounding when we touch down into the earth. And we can notice if some of that arises, if there's some type of pulling away from the earth or not wanting to connect, not feeling like it's safe to connect in this moment. Or we might notice that there's like a numbness, like, oh, I just don't feel anything. And it's not like we're trying to feel something. If I don't feel anything, then my work in this moment is to hold a space and feel that kind of numbness, that nothingness. It's like we're restoring relationship to that part of myself that has gone numb. So it's like if I'm holding it in my hands, I'm just going to soften my grip a bit, create a bit more space. I'm just going to hold that part of myself that's feeling a bit numb and disconnected. I'm just holding it with my awareness, with my presence. And I'm saying, yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Yeah. And I'm not fueling it with thought and making up stories about it. I'm just simply being with it as it is. Now with this connection into the earth, let's come into our womb. So let's try inhaling some energy from the earth up into our womb space. Even if we don't have the physical organ of the womb, we can still inhale into this space. There's an energetic imprint of a womb if we had one before and it's been removed. And let's just see what this relationship is like for us as we inhale energy up into the womb. And then as we exhale, let's let that energy flow back down through our legs, down through our feet into the ground. Inhale, bringing nourishing energy into our womb. And exhaling, letting go. Sometimes it's kind of like a composting that's going on. It's like we're bringing in energy and then we're letting go of draws. Or for some people, it might be more like a creative process going on. We might be letting go from the womb, allowing seeds to be planted into the earth, to be birthed. There might be different processes going on for different people, and just noticing how this is for you. Inhaling energy from the earth into your womb, up through the legs, and exhaling, watching it go back down through the legs, down into the earth. Just noticing your relationship with the earth, noticing the quality of it. Does it feel warm and related and connected? And like there's a flow happening up and down between your womb and the womb of the earth, the Great Mother. Or maybe there's a numbness, or maybe there's some constriction, or maybe there's emotion arising. Whatever comes, it's that process of softening how we feel it, softening our nervous system. It's like we're creating a little more space around it. And it's like you're just sitting down with a friend, holding their hand for a moment, saying, yeah, I hear that. I feel that. Being with it. And in that simple process, usually things begin to unravel, open a little more. Energy begins to flow when we don't make the constriction wrong or the numbness wrong, and we say yes to it. It allows it to begin to restore relationship to the parts of ourselves that are alive and are flowing. This time as we inhale from the earth up through our legs, let's bring that energy right up into our heart center. letting it feed our heart, and as we exhale, let that energy radiate out. And let's breathe at our heart center for a moment, feeling into our heart at the same time as we feel our womb and also our connection into the earth. So it might be we're inhaling energy from the earth and we're feeling it nourishing our womb and then moving up to our heart center, or it might be some other way for you. Just allow however that relating to the earth, your womb, and your heart at the same time happens for you. And just a reminder that we're continuing to feel our physical body, allowing our emotions, sensing and feeling our emotions, and noticing our mind at the same time. So we're creating a really coherent space within us, a space for deeper layers to arise and to release and detox within us. We're relating to our feminine spirit, the energy of creation as we connect to Mother Earth, to the womb space within us, to our heart space. And now let's go up to the crown of our head. So let's inhale from earth all the way up through our legs, up through our abdomen, up through our heart, throat, head, neck, and let's kind of land at the crown of our head. Let's hang out here for a moment. Let's have the intention to begin to relate to the light of our soul. We can do this by kind of feeling like we're softening the crown of our head, like maybe it's becoming porous, like a sponge, receptive. Or for some people, it's easier to kind of expand out, project out through the crown of your head up to about 1 meter above your head, out into your aura, where kind of the light of our soul rains down through our being. Now, when the light of our soul rains down and it lands on places in us that are frozen, that are constricted and hard, it's like the inspiration, the creativity, the innovation that's raining down in each moment that's trying to blossom in our life kind of just piles up. It's like, if the ground isn't soft, if the soil isn't toiled and ready and fertile for the seeds to be planted, nothing grows. So it's like everything we've done up into this moment has been preparing the ground. So let's just bring our awareness a little bit more onto the crown of our head, feeling and sensing. And again, there's no right or wrong, shoulds or shouldn'ts, or ways it should be. We're just simply noticing how it is for me in this moment. Simply setting the intention to relate to the light of my soul. You might relate more to the words higher intelligence. Just having that intention set something in motion. Something that begins to grow and blossom if this isn't a relationship I already experience. This is one that develops through intention and then noticing with your awareness what arises. You might feel a connection to your soul. You might feel the light of your soul as a physical sensation. You might experience visually as light. You might hear it as music or a high-pitched sound or violins or however you experience it. Now let's begin sensing and feeling like we're inhaling a golden light from our soul down through the crown of our head. If it's not golden, if it's white or whatever, just allow it to come as whatever color it is. Or if it's just a feeling or a sensing, allowing it to rain gently down through our bodies, coming down through our heart, filling our heart, and then letting this light of our heart continue on down through our abdomen, our pelvis, our womb, down through our legs, soles of the feet into the earth. And it's like we're planting the light of our soul into the ground of our being, planting our higher intelligence, our soul-aligned creativity, inspiration, innovation. That's a potential that can grow in our life. All of our potential comes from the light of our soul. Down through our physical body, let's just see it touch into the ground. And then let's draw from the earth this nutrient, this nourishment, up, inhaling through the legs, bringing that energy up into our heart center of the earth, where it meets the light of our soul. And we can let them kind of mingle and make love in our heart center for a moment. And as we exhale, we might feel that energy moving out into our physical body, into our aura. We might continue to feel that energy raining down through our physical body, from the crown of our head, down through all parts of ourselves into the earth. It's like an offering, planting a gift into the earth that's going to blossom and manifest in our lifetime, or maybe other lifetimes. It might be a long-term project, who knows? But that there's a relationship between the light of our soul and the earth that we are a part of. When we connect down into the earth, what we also connect with is the wisdom of our ancestors, that which they've learned in the past and have integrated as wisdom. But also we touch into the wound of our ancestor, that which still needs to be processed, that which hasn't yet been digested. And it lives inside of us as feelings and sensations and ways of being. And we can begin to have a relationship with the ancestors, both the wisdom as well as helping to digest the wound within us. So when we inhale from the earth, we're drawing on the energy of the earth and also the wisdom of our ancestors, rising, inviting it into our life, inviting their support. So let's just take a moment to feel sensing down into the earth again, with the intention of inviting a connection with our ancestors, inviting a relationship with our ancestors, that relationship might feed us and support us, and at the same time that we might be in service to the ancestors as well, helping to digest and process that which has not been processed within our lineage, that's still waiting to be processed. Because as we process these ancestral wounds, we release the learning that has not yet happened yet. So it's like we know when we do a piece of digestive work, wisdom always arises in us, a new understanding of what was happening, what was limiting me, a new thought, a creative thought about how to move forward in some way in this moment. A new potential comes into the space. let's complete this journey, this meditative journey, touching a little bit into our feminine spirit and possibly some of the feminine wound that might be alive in us in this moment. It's like we're inviting the sacred feminine to speak through us in this moment. We each might have our personal experiences with the feminine wound, and we also have ancestral and collective experiences. We might ask ourselves, what has been wounded? What has been lost or hurt, denied, suppressed or oppressed? Or just what part has had to go underground because survival was at stake? What part in me has had to been depressed, suppressed, because survival was at stake? Or the business of survival was just too intense? And then let's just sense and feel through our whole body. We might feel into the womb space a little bit more as well. And listen to what voices arise within us, what thoughts arise, what feelings and sensations arise. Just let that feminine spirit speak through us in this moment. Speak through our personal experience, our ancestral experience, and our collective experience. We might take a moment to contemplate in my own personal life. In what way have I felt suppressed? Have I felt denied in some way, wounded? What's been lost? What parts of myself have been lost or disincluded, fragmented, disassociated from? And as different images or feelings or sensing or emotions arise, let's at the same time feel our connection to the earth. Mother Earth, the great mother, she's older than any of our constrictions, any of our wounds. She's been here from the beginning, since this planet formed. So she's like a resource that we can relax into and help hold whatever it is that's arising within us. Be part of that bigger container that holds what's arising so that it can digest and process. And at the same time, we can also relate to the light of our soul as a resource, bringing a healing light, that higher intelligence to that which was stuck or wounded, lost or hurt, at the same time as feeling the earth holding. And we can even relate to the different elements on the earth as resources. The nature of water flowing. The nature of energy is movement. It flows. So it's like when we hold an awareness of flowing water at the same time as a stuck or limited or wounded part. It's like we're bringing more resource to that moment so that life can be restored movement can be restored. There might be other resources. Some people relate to trees. Feeling trees and forests as a resource, like forest as a community that stands and witnesses, that is highly interconnected underneath the earth. It's deeply in relationship with each other. And then now let's also invite any feminine wisdom from our ancestors that wants to arise within us. Inviting that more into our life, more into our awareness, to be as a resource for us, to hold us in our processes, to express more of this feminine spirit in our world right now. And at the same time, we can call on the divine, sacred feminine to inform us, to be with us, to elevate us, allowing these two kind of feminine energies to commingle, to be creative, co-creative together, supporting, elevating, healing, digesting, integrating. So let's inhale through the soles of our feet, up through our legs, up through our abdomen, up to the crown of the head. Let's touch the light of our soul. And then exhale and bring that light of our soul back down through our body, the earth of our body, down through our legs, into the soil, down into the earth. So we're completing that kind of feedback loop. Earth to the heavens, earth to the heavens, earth to the higher self. Integrating that connection and that relationship. And now let's land in our heart center and take a few breaths in our heart. Inhale, filling our body like that sponge absorbing all the energy. And then on the exhale, we're expanding out into our physical body, into our world, into our life. And as we take one more moment together here, let's take a moment to tune into all of the other souls who are meditating in this way, that are practicing in this way. I'm a member of a lot of different groups that practice in this way and meditate in this way, and I'm aware that when I sit down and do a meditation like this, I'm also tapping into those energetic fields. I'm connecting. I'm becoming a part of a larger community, a larger collective container of healing, community of healing. And that when we meditate like this, we're not just meditating on our own. We actually plug into these other energetic fields that help to support us and hold us in our processing and our digesting and our integrating and our healing. Let's just feel out into that larger field for a moment, allowing it to feed us, as well as all of our resources flow out and feed that field as well. It's a give and take. It's a generous giving and sharing. Let's take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and maybe stretch a little bit as you come back into this moment wherever you are in your world. Yeah.